Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are live on the newsstreamingnetwork.com TV podcast, as well as WGSN-DB Going Solo Radio. If you enjoy our content, the best free way to support us is to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Today's topic, the 4 pillars of transformation. I am your co-host, Judy Forder, and I am here with our special guest, Cheryl Pace, and my co-host in peace, Miss
Janice Leonard. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh. So glad to have everybody here. Glad you can share the information and the love and the honor and the amazingness of Cheryl, who I've just got to get to know a little bit. And we do this every week. We love to share love and peace, and that's what we're about. We are a nonprofit organization. If you are able to, we love donations. We have expenses that we need covered, and we are 501c3, so you can write it off in your taxes. If you want to and able to, go to www.peacefulempowermentworks.org. There's a donate button on the top of the front page and on the bottom. And if we have any technical difficulties, I apologize. I'm officially retired, and I now have the junky computer that I can't get to quite work yet. So I'm doing my best. And it'll be a great show today. And thank you. Is there something else I'm supposed to say?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay.
And congratulations on your retirement.
Yes, congratulations.
Oh my gosh, it's all the things. It's all the things.
Yes, it's funny. My dad said there should be a support group for people that retire because it affects you more than you expect it will.
Yes. Definitely. And I actually just listened this morning to a podcast by Brene Brown. And she was talking about about your mind or taking a break or something to that effect when you get older. And it was a similar kind of thing. If you're in more peace, you don't have to take everything on anymore. And it was just very, very good.
Excellent. Fantastic. All right, Janice, would you like to ring us in?
Oh, I do. I do. And without my good speakers.
In through your nose. I am grateful for Janice and her singing bowl.
So am I. Very grounding and centering.
Isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely.
We've had a couple weeks there where her and I are just she's ringing bowl, singing bowl, and it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. In the part we have to say, or we'd like to say, before the bowl, is the part that we show that we're real.
Exactly. True and authentic.
Yes.
Authenticity is the highest frequency, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Miss Janice, what are you grateful for this week?
What I'm grateful for. It is, let's see. I think I need the cue from
Mr. Severna.
Oh, I know. Okay, so as you may know, I come to you live from Vermont.
Vermont.
And, yes, the first weekend in Vermont is, give or take, is the peak of foliage. So Silverio will show you the picture. I am grateful for this beautiful state that I live in. This is actually, I did this a few days ago, so we're actually kind of almost getting to the peak and pass. But this is my house and my maple tree. I planted this maple tree, the single one. I planted it when I moved here, because I wanted, there's a lot of sugar maples, and I don't know if you know this, but the sugar maples, when they change color, it's more yellows and golds, where the hard maple are the reds and the bright oranges.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I really love the reds and the bright oranges, so I planted them. And then behind my house, which is the one on the left, I have one of those. So I get a picture. This is it's beauty. To be in Vermont in this area right now is incredible.
Yeah, and you have a beautiful place. You just sit on your porch and watch everything change color.
I can, and I feel damn lucky.
That's fantastic.
We were talking about swearing earlier, so now I'm swearing.
See, it just goes to prove that which we say we should not do, we end up doing.
True.
My subconscious says, what? Do that? Okay.
Oh, you're working on swearing. Okay, then damn it. There you go.
Be the best filth mouth you can be.
That's funny. I love it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Cheryl, would you like to share something you're grateful for today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I'm grateful for each and every day is when my eyes open. Yes. I'm like, I get another day at this. Because, as we'll be talking about my story, but it's so important to wake up in gratitude. Set your day up for that beautifulness that we can see, right? And not see for some of us. But just, that's what I'm grateful for. And being here with you guys. This is really, really fun. I've been laughing all morning. We're having a ball. I want to do this every day.
Oh, excellent. All right, Miss Janice, what is your good news story today?
This good question. I saw this video last weekend, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the one I want to do." And I sent it to Judy. In between the two computers, I hadn't listened to it again. So this is going to be my version of this story. And it's so it starts with these two kids trying to sell lemonade. Did you guys ever do that?
I didn't.
No.
Oh yeah, I did that with my kids when they were littler. I have amazing pictures. I wish I had it to show. It's so cute. It's fun.
Yeah. I think I've probably done it. But here, when you live in the country, there's no selling lemonade on the outside your door.
Nobody comes by. That was
they'd be sitting out there all day for days waiting for somebody to drive by.
So I love it, and once in a while I see it, but if you live more in the village. And anyways, so I love it. I love when I see that the kids doing that. And believe it or not, what happened is, and they got it on video, is someone stopped by and they're like, "Oh yay, he stole the money and left." Some guy came to these two kids, put their little lemonade stand in front of their house and stole the money. I know this is supposed to be a feel-good story, but that's not the end. There's more. Well, apparently the word got out, and what happened is everyone and their brother in town, in their village, or wherever city, went over, and they ended up raising tons of money. Of course, motorcycle groups stop by, which is always a fun one to see when you get, because the stereotype is the dangerous motorcycle people, which they're not. I mean, there may be some, but they're not all. Anyway, so they all come in with their leather jackets and they buy it all, and the community shows up, and they got a picture here. And these kids, they wanted. The whole thing was they didn't want the kids to learn the lesson. About what the lessons learned. Someone comes steals your money, you try to do this. So instead, the community really wanted this to be a wonderful experience, and they pulled together a great story.
Yeah, it is a good story. I mean, the kids were scared, so their mom had to talk them into getting back on the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great story. I loved, there was a video of, this is a video. So they're showing a guy that comes up and he was like, yeah, I was here the other day and I forgot to pay extra or pay for enough lemonade. And he put like $15 in, and then he put another $20 in. It's like, it's the most expensive cup of lemonade I've ever had.
Yeah.
But probably the most fulfilling, right?
Exactly.
It was great.
Yeah. What a wonderful, what a wonderful way to bring that full circle and show that there's a lot more good going on in the world than the bad.
Yeah.
At least that's how I took it.
Me too.
Yeah. So, okay, we are at Pathways to Peace. This is where we get to find out about Cheryl.
Oh,
Yes. So it's funny, Janice, I don't even know if you know this story. I went to a goddess gathering and Cheryl was there for the first time and she sat next to me on the couch. And the whole time I'm sitting there feeling her energy and everything. And I'm thinking, man, we got to have her on the show. Man, we got to have her on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't even learned her story yet, but just energetically, I'm like, yeah, there's something real special going on over here. We got to have her on the show.
Yeah, this will work. This will work.
So when she said yes, I was overjoyed.
Yeah.
Would you like to read her bio, or would you like me to?
Oh, I would love to. Cheryl Pace. She's master healer, hypnotist, blooming author, speaker and founder of 2 healing spaces, Changer Pace, Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork. She has offices in Arnold and Odenton, and Be the Change, the Healing Collective in Severna Park, Maryland. Be the Change. After a near-death experience awakened her spiritual gifts, she has devoted her life to holding sacred space for others to heal, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Her work is rooted in the belief that you heal, I heal, we all heal. And the energy and love is wonderful. I already feel. So I hope you get to know her a little bit and feel it as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm very curious because in the goddess gathering, we didn't talk a lot about your near-death experience. So my curiosity has me saying, Cheryl, would you like to share about your near-death experience?
Absolutely. It's funny because that's like the first thing people always want to know. Like, what happens? Well, so what's interesting is that my decline in health was very slow. It started with some abdominal discomfort, which I've had my whole life, to be perfectly honest, but it kind of shifted a little bit. I was nauseous all the time. But then before I knew it, I was in bed and could barely walk because I became so weak from not being able to eat. And it turned out that I had C. difficile, which is a bacteria overgrowth in the digestive system that is can cause havoc on the body. And I wasn't diagnosed. They were trying to figure it out. I was going to the doctors all the time. So I became weak. I hadn't eaten in quite some time. I could barely function, honestly. At this point, I'd probably been sick for about 6 weeks. I had that morning been escorted to take a bath and got back in my bed. That day was just really rough. I was vomiting, just really not well. My kidneys were shutting down on me. My liver was having a hard time functioning. I had a really bad sinus infection that my body just couldn't fight off. And I'm in bed and it was the evening time, cold November. It was November of 2019. And all of a sudden, my body started shaking. And the next thing I knew, I was observing I call meat suit in the body. And I was light and free. And I was met by 3 luminous light bodies. It was just condensed energy around me. And they took me to the light. And the light is amazing. The light is this lightness oneness. Ancient spiritualism, they use the word Satori, which there's really no words to describe, Satori, but the best way I describe it is this oneness and nothingness all at the same time. I'm up there loving it because for the first time in 6 weeks, I wasn't having excruciating pain within my body. I was grateful to be there. I won't lie. But then I hear this voice that says, Cheryl, you can't come yet. And I then was pissed. I was like, what? This feels amazing. I don't know what this is, but this feels great. And prior to this experience, I will say I didn't have any spiritual or religious background. I knew there was something bigger going on, but I didn't have any practices in place, right? So I'm up here, you got to go back. And then I hear, go share the light. And I then panicked. What does that mean? How do I do that? Like,
I have questions.
What we do, what us humans do now every day. Like, what's my purpose? What am I doing? Where am I supposed to be going? Right? That all happened up there in the light. And just like that, they said, trust, you will know, just trust. And then right like that is back in my body. Dogs barking, kids screaming. My, at the time, husband, like, what is happening? Right. So that was my near-death experience, which changed my life forever. But in the most powerful and privileged way. It's because it's a privilege to get that experience. And I recognize that because it cracked me wide open. It really cracked me wide open. And, I started to listen, it was,
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So no real spiritual stuff prior to this.
Right.
You hear, go share the light. You're filled with questions.
Yes.
And you start to listen. And when you say listen, what were you hearing?
My inner self, my higher power. When I say higher, I always think above, but it's really within. So source, whatever we want to call it, right? Source, God, universe, whatever. I was just woken up to that high level of frequency because it's all about levels of consciousness, right? So it helps wake that consciousness up. So I could see the unseen and kind of know the unknown. I'm claircognizant, meaning I have a clear knowing, and I'm clairsentient, clear feeling. I feel it within my body, which was very beneficial as a massage therapist for 23 years, right? But
yes.
I just started, for example, of the listening. A couple hours after this experience of coming back into the physical body, my husband walked in the room. And I hear immediately from something bigger than me, karmic soulmates, the karmic contract is over. You're experiencing soul death. It's time to evolve this relationship, which then was a very difficult conversation because the next day I have to say to him, look, we're in a karmic relationship. We've completed it. We have 2 kids together. We're going to continue this journey together, but not in the way that we have been. And so
and how was
that's
that?
how my life has been since then. I see everything for what it is. I see people. I don't see the human body. I see their soul. Most people say aura or whatever, but I see their soul. When I look into their eyes, I see their soul. And it's really a blessing, but I didn't listen. Judy, Janice, I still didn't listen. I had a near death, still didn't listen. So in 2022.
Oh, wait. You did listen and ask for the divorce, right?
I did listen. I listened a little. I listened to what I wanted to listen to. Okay. So I listened to the easy stuff that was shown. And not that that was easy because that was difficult because I had immense love for him and I still do. But it was time for the transition. So I listened, but I didn't listen. Let's put it that way. What I did was I stepped into my workaholic energy and worked. I just put my head down and was like, stayed in the dark room barefoot, giving him 30 massages a week. Yeah, exactly. But the universe, meanwhile, was like, no, there's more. This isn't, you're sharing the light. Yeah, babe. You're sharing the light with yourself and 12 independent contractors who work on your team, but that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So January of 2022, I got COVID, which at first was just like a little head cold, like most people in the world. But then I started to not feel my feet, not feel to my knees. Before I knew it, I was paralyzed from my waist down. And for 4 months, I was paralyzed. Ooh. Yeah. And it was the biggest blessing I could have ever asked for. I know that sounds crazy, but I was always doing. And I was a workaholic. I'm Cheryl Pace. I'm a recovering workaholic. And every day I have to remind myself to not go into that energy, because it's very easy to slip back into that doing.
Yes.
And being paralyzed for 4 months, I couldn't move. I literally couldn't move. I had people around the clock helping me. Talk about the most vulnerable position to be in for a healer is to have other people help them, hold space for them. But it was when my true gifts really, I remembered them. I needed the time, the space, the silence to remember them. And I really haven't been the same since. The calling has just been go share the light, go share the light, go share the light. So it took me a good 2 years to recover from I could walk in 4 months, but the energy levels in my body just really had a difficult time walking again, which is in itself is a total rebirth. Learned how to walk again, learned how to shower myself again, like all of those things. But what I took from it was that we all have the opportunity to come out of that darkness, right? People are always like, love and light, love and light, love and light. And when I meet those people, I say, gosh, tell me about what you had to go through to get to the love and the light.
Amen.
Because it's so true. Like, the people who are in the love and the light, they've gone through it. And that's the story where the hope lies, how their story helps others. And that's why now I share my story, right?
Yes.
Because it was dark. Yeah. It was pain. It was going deep in and, letting all those feelings that I've been running away from for so long. And then it turned into then being tested to listen. Because now I'm having these, I call downloads, this higher energy coming through me and guiding me, reminding me where to go. And, because this journey is already mapped out, right? It's already mapped out, and helping me remember that and to see it from the higher perspective, which during those early times, I relied heavily on the shamanic healing wheel. I don't say that I'm a shaman because to me, a shaman lives on the land where they're, initiated. And I have no desire to live on the land. I'm not going to lie. I like a toilet and I like a good bed, right?
Flushy.
Right? So I'm a shamanic practitioner, and with this healing wheel, I saw myself in the direction of the south, which is Serapin, about shedding. And I was in a deep shed for a good 3 years after that, right? Shed. And then the direction of the west is Jaguar energy. It's my power. It's taken me some time to get that power back, but I'll tell you, as soon as I stepped into that power, everybody around me noticed something changed. It took me a while to catch up. But as I stood in that power, you go to the direction of the north, which is hummingbird and dragon energy, which is all about standing in your sovereignty, seeing your pillar of light connected to the heaven on earth, the earth below, and standing in that beautiful pillar of light. Wow. And recognizing everybody is a lesson or a distraction. Right. And as I did that pretty consistently, and let me tell you, I've been really tested on that in many ways, especially with children. Like, my kids are my best mirror and best teacher, but I've definitely have had to learn that lesson. Hold space for them as I'm holding space I'm being me. Right. And then you step over to the direction of the east, which is the condor and hawk, where you have the ability to see it all from the higher perspective, the higher level of consciousness, right? And so I've been doing that cycle for myself, and now I'm used as that bridge for others to connect to their higher self, to see it from the higher perspective, show them where they are in this healing wheel, and then hold the sacred space for them to show up and remember who they are as a soul, right?
Wow.
'Cause
That's
this is all about remembrance,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so we hold the space for people so they remember they were never broken. They're
Mhm.
whole, they're beautiful, it's time for them to allow themselves to receive, right?
Amen.
So I was blessed to go through that wheel myself. So now when I show up for others, it's a lot easier, I can tell you, because I've been there, I've done that, and I can hold that space with empathy and compassion and grace.
Mm.
Yes. That's what we talk about at Masterful You. It's experiential learning. That's experiential learning to a T. And I feel like this is a great place for us to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back, and we'll talk about the 4 pillars of transformation with Cheryl Pace.
Okay. Great.
We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Be Here Now, where presence invites perspective and allows peace. We are going to talk about the 4 pillars of transformation with Cheryl Pace. Thank you, Cheryl. That was a beautiful description of your journey from your near-death experience to then going forth and sharing the light.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And we have to play this back just so I can hear it again without my interruptions.
Oh, good.
So talk to us about these 4 pillars of transformation. Is this something that was downloaded to you or you created through your experience?
No, it was downloaded to me. Everything I do is led. It just is. And people who know me are like, I've never met anybody as led as Cheryl Pace, because I just am. So I actually was being pushed to write a book and my story, which I didn't want to do, to be honest. I don't know why. In the beginning, I was like, that seems very ego. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, but I wrote the book 2 years ago. I wrote the book and downloaded the book. It was kind of 50-50. And
Okay.
then about 4 months ago, I went to Sedona with a friend, and her husband is getting ready to have his transition to, the next realm. And we went to get her soul prepared. And it was amazing because whenever you give, you get back. And it's this beautiful thing. And she's a beautiful being. But when we got back for 2 days straight, I didn't sleep. I just was channeling the book, which lined up to what was already written, but just in depth, and it was great. But the 4 pillars of transformation, I also say 4 pillars of change, because my whole life has kind of been about change and transformation. But the first one that and it was very, it correlates right with my story, right? Because we're all living this journey, having a journey. And although mine is very personal, it's very universal, right? We all kind of are going on the same plane. The stories might be a little different, but the lessons to learn are all pretty similar. And the first one is just be. And I got that resonated. Like when I, channeling that, I came through, my whole body is lit up, because that was the most challenging part for me, was to just be. Like, I get my badge of honor of how much I've accomplished, right? And now you're
Look at
telling
all
me,
I've done.
and I'm a Virgo, so Virgos are very like, I know, right? So, and I was a workaholic, and so it was like, okay, I was forced to just be, because I ignored it. So the universe put my little tush in the bed for 4 months. So I had no choice. But just being in your day-to-day life helps you increase your level of consciousness, so you can have the beautiful gifts that the 3 of us have. Everybody has, right? We just haven't practiced it. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have your gifts. I'm like, you do. Start with just being. Just sit. Allow yourself to come to the center of your body. Feel whatever is coming up. Ask it what it needs. What are you? What are you to me? What is this feeling? What do you need? Most of the time, that feeling will tell you it needs to be heard, right?
Mhm.
Instead of running, most of us, as soon as we feel something uncomfortable, we dart the other way. But when you're just
Yep.
being and being present, it's really not that scary. Some of the feelings come up. They might feel a little, but sit with it and let your body know it's safe and it's protected and that it's okay to just sit here and feel, right?
Yes.
So that's the first, and that's one of the most challenging for people when they're first remembering who they are, right?
Mhm.
So that's why meditation is so important. And meditation can be in all different ways. It can be outside on a walk, it could be woodworking, it could be making jewelry. But finding what helps you just be, where the conscious mind, that day-to-day operator, can take a well-deserved break, right?
Yes.
So that's the first pillar. And if there's lots of tools to help with that. The second is walking home to within.
Mm.
Now, for me personally, I'd had 10 back surgeries. I was paralyzed. I had all these different reasons to disassociate from the body. And I'm not
Mhm.
alone in that. Many people disassociate from their body. If they've had a lot of trauma, they disassociate from their body. They kind of, I don't want to be there. They also hold those traumas in their tissues too. But when I realized that home is inside, it's not out of here, right? It's going inside and being inside, which once you just be and you felt those feelings, it gives you
Mhm.
the opportunity to walk home to within. And when you get there, guess what? You
What?
find your light, you find your
Woohoo!
power, right? And that's the third pillar is embracing your light, seeing your light, receiving it. You don't give it to other people though. It's your light. It's your pillar of
Mm.
light. What you do is you vibrate with your light, and your people vibrate at your light, the same frequency in their own light, right? So you're still your sovereign being, and then you just pull in other people who are vibrating on a similar vibration. Does that make sense? I find that a lot of healers are exhausted. They're tired. People too, like we're all healers at heart, right? But in our society right now, we're walking around exhausted, depleted, and tired. And that's
Yeah.
because we're giving people our light. We're
Mhm.
like, oh, you need a little light? Oh, here's mine. But we don't need to do that. You keep your sovereign being and you vibrate, they feel it, and that helps them vibrate there, right?
Yeah.
You hold space for them. You lead by example, which I
Yeah,
love.
it's I'm seeing the match.
Yeah,
You don't put your fire out to light another match. You just
right,
let it light off of yours.
right. I
Mhm.
love that
Yeah.
visual. That's good. So we're just being, we're walking home to within. When we get there, we embrace our light that is big, bold, and beautiful. And the fourth one is the one that I really feel through all my healing practice, holding space for so many people is the most powerful, because
Mhm.
once they do this, their life changes. And that is to know they are enough,
Mm.
right? To really say, oh, my light is really powerful. I'm really strong. My authenticity of who I am is amazing. But then recognizing they're enough to receive the blessings that have always been there, right?
Yeah.
So that's my four pillars that were shown to me from the higher realms that resonate so deeply. It's kind of like those lessons in life where I'm just like, oh, thank you. Thank you for helping me see that from this perspective. And now that's what I'm sharing with the world is the concept of it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to have had a near-death experience and be paralyzed for 4 months. Start with just
Mhm.
being.
Yeah.
Start with that.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
so much distraction in the world.
So much distraction.
Yeah, when we're milling through the show, and a title for the show, Be Here Now. It's like, be here now. If you can just be present, you'll be amazed at what doors open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so yeah,
so
that
true. It's so true. And to realize, and that goes back to the fourth pillar, people will get there, right? but then all the doors open and they're not sure if they're worthy to receive it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you that's in the lesson itself, right? You see that, you get
And it's
that.
like you said earlier too, some of those doors that open, there isn't light that's shining out of them. It's shadows that you need to face. You know, we've learned that shadows are scary. And, you know, when you are able to face it, remember, you're the light source.
Right.
So it's all about being able to observe it. Don't be absorbed in it. You continue to stand anchored in your light, but let's observe it and see, like you said, ask the questions. What are you trying to tell me? What do you need? All of those things are so important, because as soon as we no longer fear the shadows, we're taking responsibility and ownership of our life again.
Yeah. And it's so true. And offering ourselves any grace or compassion or forgiveness, because those are things that we still hold on to. Spirit's using me very specifically right now when I'm doing my healing practice to help people identify karmic debts from this lifetime and past lifetimes, right? So not just this lifetime, but past lifetimes. So a lot of times we're carrying these old emotions within our being that we may not even be conscious of. So when you're sitting in the be here now, you're able to feel those feelings, see those feelings, and acknowledge them. A lot of the karmic wheel keeps going because you have to identify it, feel it, then transmute it. It's difficult for us to identify and feel as a society, as a collective. We're getting much better because that's what we're doing. Yeah, and as light workers are doing that. We're waking up, seeing that, holding the space. So then the other light workers are like, oh, this is easy. I can do this too. They're showing me, right?
Yeah, and I feel like that's why, you know, everybody's, and rightfully so. I mean, the world's crazy right now, but it's the collective shadows that are coming up to be seen, addressed, and healed.
Yes.
So that we can continue moving forward and get out of living in survival mode and choose to live in truth and love and joy and all of those wonderful things.
Yeah.
And I can't help but there was a time, you know, we've been hearing all this since I've embarked on this spiritual journey. This is what you hear. This is what we're going through. And then I was like, yeah, whatever. That's a bunch of hoo-ha, but I'm in it for the work. I'll keep showing up.
Yeah.
But I find myself sitting in this space of, while everything is crumbling around me, I'm like, yes, what a great time to be alive. And people are like, you're a crazy lunatic.
But it is true. It's allowing us to come here as the soul into the human experience and help change the world by so simple, be ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the thing that blows my mind. This journey doesn't have to be complicated. Just be yourself.
Just keep peeling off all the crap because it's in there. Your true authentic self is there. Let's just peel off the layers.
Yeah, it's a new message though. This be yourself, be true to yourself. I mean, for me, I don't know anyone who even understood that was a concept until later in my life.
Yeah, it wasn't something that it was like you watch everything around you and it's telling you you're not enough, you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that. You have to wear this lipstick, you have to wear that, you have to be this. Don't be you, that's not good enough. Don't trust you, you don't know. I know you better than you. And it's like, what?
Well, and I find that even more so, people get so programmed into what society wants them to be, right? So then, you know, I'm just going to use an example of, you know, being a mom. Like, you're a young child. Oh, I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to then, you know, do what? And then I am blessed to help a lot of moms who go through that, right? Like they're like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I'm a wife, I'm a this, I'm a that. They got their long checklist. The kids grow up and go off to school, and then what do they do? Right?
Yeah, they're like,
it's that panic. It's like the panic I had when I was up there, and they said, "Go share the light." Like, what does that mean, right? That's what they're doing. Like, if I say to them, "Just be you," I don't know who I am.
Exactly.
Right?
What are you talking about?
It's sitting in those layers, having the self-reflection, the good, the bad, the ugly, which is none of it is good, bad, or ugly. It just is. and it's a lesson.
And
So
it's a lesson.
yeah, it's a lesson. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And grace. Grace has played such a huge role. Once I could finally give myself grace, it allowed me to be curious. And once you are curious, the world is literally your oyster because there is no fear of failing.
Right.
There's just lessons to be learned.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trust. I think that trust is right up there for me for grace, because there's so many times where I'm being led to do something that's quite scary. Like I was just led to move back, close out a 30-year cycle, just moved back in with my parents. I moved out at 19. I just moved back at 49. And I'm like, what is happening? The best thing that's ever happened to me. My kids are happy. I'm happy. My parents are happy. But it was scary for me to be like, I'm going back home. What?
Oh,
but I love it.
I was going to say that's the perfect example, because back in the day, this is what families did.
Yeah.
They stayed in the family home, or they lived very close. It wasn't unusual. And then society made it something to look down on. You still live with your parents?
Yeah.
You know,
I asked my kid, I got this hit, right? Excuse me, I'm sorry, Judy, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I asked my kid, when I got the download, I asked my 18-year-old, she'll be 18, and she's like, I go, how would you feel about living with Gima and Pop-Pop? And she goes, can we go tomorrow? And then I asked my 16-year-old son, and I go, hey, would you want to live with Gima and Pop-Pop? And he goes, it would be an honor and a privilege to live with them. They're getting old. And so that's how I knew, well, but it was scary. It was still scary, because then I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's been a blessing. A blessing. And thank you for reminding me that's what they used to do, because, you know, people they still do it. I don't know. It's not what I thought would be for me, but it's for me. And when I ask why, Spirit says, because I have a lot of flying to do. And I need a foundation that I can come back to, but I don't need to be tied down. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Just like with Be the Change, the healing collective that I have now, my lease is coming up to an end. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Well, I'm going to step into this new energy of collaboration. And I'm going to take my gifts and skills to Perla Wellness and Salt Wellness. And I'm going to expand there and not have a $3,000 overhead that I have to feel responsible for. Right?
It's me, like, you're getting a lot of information that has to do with freedom.
Yes.
Freedom.
And it's the simplicity of freedom. Like when I left the family home, I took nothing except for half of my clothes. Because I was like, I want to be as minimal and as free as possible. And it feels amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
And so that's how I try to live my life, is free. Like if I get a download, you need to go to Sedona, I go to Sedona, right? If I need to go to Asheville, I go to Asheville. I listen. And that's giving me this freedom to share my light where I go, but also to fill my soul. My soul loves to be flying. You know?
I love so much. This is wonderful.
It's so fun.
Well, it was funny because when Janice came on and was learning all about Cheryl, she was like, man, I need to work with you. And Cheryl is opening up to doing more virtual work now. So Janice in Vermont can very much work with Cheryl. So if someone would like to contact you, what's the best way to reach you?
I'm going to say at BeTheChangeBeTheLight.org, and they can just, you know, shoot me a message from there, or texting me is fine. Okay, yes. So I'm going to say go to the website or text me, and the number there is great to text. And we'll chit chat from there. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And you have some upcoming events. Would you like to share about those briefly?
Sure. Quickly. So I am on 1010. I'm going to be doing a 1010 portal over at Salt Wellness. This is in Queenstown, Maryland. We'll be doing some really fun stuff in the cave. It'll be sound healing. And then half the people will be getting a foot detox, where I'll be doing intuitive messages, helping them connect to their higher self. And then on the 11th, I'll be at the horse farm. It's National Young Living Day, which is all about essential oils. So I'm teaming up with an oil expert and horse expert, Lindy. We'll be doing some grounding to grow, because in order to ascend, you really have to be grounded. So we're doing that on the 11th. And then on the 12th, I'm teaming up with Tina. She does work with horses as well. Her program is Withers to Wellness, and she helps people with PTSD with using the horses through her training and her therapeutic work. So I'll be doing messages there with them. And then I am doing a community Sparkle Fest over at Perilla Wellness, which I'm excited to team up with them. We're going to have healers and artists and all kinds of fun stuff and food trucks. And so now you're sold, because I said food truck.
Yeah, I'm in.
So that's what I have going on, and I do offer one-on-ones. I have my book is projected to be out in February. The working title right now is The Change, but we're all sitting like, that sounds like middle-aged women in menopause. So I think I've changed it to Go Share the Light, which is the message I got when I was in the light. You heal, I heal, we all heal. My biggest mission is to help people raise their level of consciousness, to be into unity consciousness, where we're all one. So, the thing that really comes through strongly is you be you, I'll be me, let's be we in divinity, because we're all one. Therefore, as you heal, I heal, and we all heal together. And then we can bring our lights together and just amplify even brighter. So that's my biggest message is, allowing us to come in to collaborate and co-create our heaven on earth.
I
Because
love that.
we're here, right? We're doing it.
We are.
So, it's beautiful.
So when your book comes out, we'll have to have you back on the show.
I would love that. That would be amazing. I'll come back whenever you guys want. You're fun.
All right.
We laughed. It was fun. Great day.
We want to thank you so much for joining us, and we want to thank everybody who's been watching. Let's just fly through Severia, we don't have a lot of time. So thank you. Yes, we'll leave you something to chew on next week. So we want to thank you so much for choosing to be here now with us. Don't forget, we have our live streaming from Spirit of Oneness in Harrisburg, PA, starting tomorrow at 2 and then Saturday at 9:30. Thank you for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
You are not alone.
and don't ever forget, you're awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Cheryl. Severia. We'll see you next time.
Bye.